Hello, boxing fans. I'm here today to talk about the Caleb Plant Canelo Alvarez fight that will be taking place about 48 hours from right now, Saturday night. It's going to be a huge event. I'm going to start with saying a lot of people call Canelo the favorite. I'm probably leaning that way, but there's a lot that I don't know about Plant yet because he hasn't fought under a significant amount of pressure. We haven't seen how he reacts, Ideally, we would say he's probably not ready, but, I've seen situations where guys that you thought weren't ready to step up, and they came through. I look back at the Bernard Hopkins-Trinidad fight. Everybody thought Trinidad was going to take that. Well, Bernard came in, shut him out, shut him down on the scorecards, and then knocked him out in the last round. So I'm not taking anything away from the kid. I've looked at I've studied some tape this week. I've seen Plant fight. He's a very good boxer. He likes the angle. He likes to stay behind his jab with the shoulder towards his opponent. Okay, so a hard angle to where he's not so open here. He's more bladed to where he can, it'll make his jab longer, and it's also going to hopefully prevent him from getting hit with the jab itself, with Canelo's jab. Okay, so when you're here, and Plant likes to be here, he's going to want to leave a gap. All right, he's going to want to stay long and keep distance between him and Alvarez, catching Alvarez's jab. Now, the key when he catches the jab, and I studied the Mayweather tape, the Mayweather-Alvarez fight, and my biggest takeaway from that fight was, first of all, Mayweather's jab, Alvarez's inability to defend the jab was the biggest takeaway. Okay, now, since that fight, Alvarez has improved a lot. He comes with high hands. He's real relaxed, and he's able to walk guys down, make the distance shorter and shorter as time goes on, without burning energy, making guys work harder than they want to. And a few rounds in, his opponents are not hitting with that same thump that they were maybe in the first or second round, and Alvarez starts to load up, and he hits very hard. He's a very hard puncher, so he's going to throw hard shots to the body, hard shots to the head. He's going to close that gap, try to put you on the ropes. And if he has energy and you don't, because he knows how to relax, at some point he's going to get you. That's kind of the fighter that he's developed into. He's developed into a very, very difficult guy to fight because he doesn't get tired. He's been through a lot of rounds with high-level fighters to where he knows how to relax at this point. He's at the point in his career to where he's not burning energy that he doesn't need to burn. He's conserving energy. He knows when to load up. He knows how to make a guy work harder than a guy wants to work, and ultimately, by the time a few rounds go by, or even late in the fight, Canelo's got a lot left in the tank, and his opponent's usually on the run. So that's probably the idea that we're looking at in this fight. But in order for Plant to have a chance and put himself in the fight, he's going to have to establish a gap. He's going to have to control the gap. He's going to have to bend his knees more. He likes to stay bladed, and that's fine. But he's got to understand, when Alvarez steps up with that overhand right, he's going to have to bend his knees and get over it. Because with the front hand down here, he's not going to be, it's going to be, he's looking more to jab with that. So his defense is here and here. Okay, the right hand will come, because when you step up to a guy who's in that defense, you're not going to throw a straight right hand, because the straight right, he can roll the shoulder, come back with the counter. Okay, so the more experienced guys and the guys who know how to punch and know how to take that defense away, they loop the right hand. The right hand's going to come like that. Okay, so in order to get away from that, you have to understand that he's doing that. When he steps up, your defense automatically has to be here. It has to come down, and it has to come here, because the hook's coming afterwards. Or he may feint the right hand. He may feint the overhand right and lead hook. So you got to fall into position. But the best way to avoid that is, and I saw Mayweather do it. Mayweather did it all night. And the reason that Mayweather was able to control Alvarez so well was every time that Alvarez started with his jab, Mayweather pulled. He defended it, but he also pulled. So when Alvarez's jab came up short, Mayweather was already gone. So the second shot never came because there's too much distance. So the ability to pull out on the jab is going to be huge. Jab defense is going to be huge, and the ability to pull. Okay, I don't know if Plant's working on pulling. He needs to be pulling on that back foot, and even when he pulls, finding the jab or the check hook. If he check hooks, he's going to want to roll out to the left because Alvarez is going to watch for that check hook and fire an overhand right over it as he's closing that gap. Okay, so you want to leave the distance. Stay with the jab, but you don't want to do a lot of feints because Alvarez is good at timing jabs. Alvarez is getting a lot better at defending his jab. He stays high. He stays in his high guard. And he fires back. What I've seen him do with jabbers recently is catch and shoot, and he starts closing the distance like that. Okay, and if he starts doing that, that distance is going to get real short real quick. And that's going to make a hard fight for Plant. So he's going to have to use a lot of feints to offset this guy so that he can't time his jab. If Alvarez starts timing his jab, it's probably going to be a short night. If Plant could come in and stay relaxed, not burn too much energy, put it out there. Put the front hand out there. Feint. Okay? Keep him off balance, but don't let him time the shot. If he times your jab, he's going to come firing off of it and close that gap and start walking you back. Okay, so you can't give him a chance to do that. You have to be set in position. You have to relax, and you got to put the jab out there, feint him, touch him. Keep small circles. You don't have to move a lot because if you move too much, if you start running from the guy, he's just going to walk you to the corner. And eventually, he'll get you on the ropes because when you're running a lot, that ring gets small real quick, especially if a guy knows how to walk you down. And Alvarez does know how to walk you down. So, if I was going to make a prediction, I'd probably say Alvarez has got the advantage in this fight. I think jab defense is going to be the guy that wins. Whoever has the better defense, whoever has the better defense for the jab is the guy who's going to probably start to capitalize in this fight because they're both looking to establish a jab. Plant is a jab guy. He's a jab right hand guy. You know, he lives behind his jab. He moves. He controls the ring. And he's good at it. I mean, I'm giving credit where it's due. The kid's good, but he hasn't been tested at this level. So we're going to see a lot of pressure on him Saturday night. Alvarez is he's also a jab guy, but he's a walk you down jab guy and hook over the jab, counter the jab, time the jab. Make a guy work harder than he wants to. He's fought jabbers before. He's fought guys with that Mayweather stance, and he fought Mayweather. But the way that Mayweather beat him was the pull, controlling that gap, controlling that space right there. And he never gave Alvarez a chance to get started. So jab defense is going to be a huge key. Probably the fight determining key. Now, we're looking at the whole atmosphere, understanding boxing like we do. We all know that in reality, and a lot of people won't admit this, but I will because I don't care. And I'm going to tell the truth. I don't have any ties to anybody. I don't have any obligations to come in here and try to sell a bunch of nonsense that's not real, okay? If this fight goes to scorecards, barring a shutout and a complete one-sided beating, Alvarez is gonna win. That's boxing. Okay, there's too much money in Vegas. People are buying hotels. Okay, the card tables are gonna go at. I mean, the blackjack's gonna be minimum $25 bets that night. The city of Vegas is going to be packed. People are going to be buying beer, burritos, and pizzas, and hookers, and everything else that goes on in Vegas. Okay? There is no money in the boxing game with Canelo Alvarez taking a loss. We all know that. Okay? So, Caleb Plant, his understanding that he's not going to probably win a decision. He won't win a close decision. I'll tell you that right now. If it's close, Alvarez is getting it. Okay, every close round is going to go to Alvarez. It's the way the game is. It's the way the game has been shaped forever. It happened with Muhammad Ali. It happened with Andre Ward's. All the greats that came before. They get free rounds. It's just the way it is. Because they got the name, the money's there for them. And the same thing with Alvarez. Mayweather, same thing. Every close round goes to the house fighter. Caleb Plant's best bet is to come in, fight the fight of his life, and walk away demanding a rematch. Because they're gonna steal. If he gets a close, victory over him, they're gonna give it to Alvarez anyway. Come in and argue that you won and say, I want a rematch, and try to milk it for the payday. But ultimately, unless he embarrasses Alvarez and completely dominates him, he's going to lose on Saturday night. And that's just the nature of boxing. But he can come in and give the guy some problems. I look for Plant to probably win the early rounds to outbox him for a little bit. Just how long? How long is he going to be able to sustain a high work rate? How long is he going to be able to keep that jab on him without Alvarez shortening that gap? Because at some point, Alvarez is going to close in on him. And when that happens, how Plant reacts and how he can fight in the pressure situation, that's going to determine how the rest of the night goes. But, his best bet's to go in there and fight the fight of his life and walk away with whatever the decision is. It is what it is. But knowing that you go out there and you did what you came to do, the fans judge the fight at the end of the night. There's a lot of fights in history. We look at Pernell Whitaker and Chavez. Pernell Whitaker won that fight. Come on, it's let's all be real here. I don't care what the record books say. I don't care what everybody claims or whatever excuse you want to make for your guy to win. We all saw the fight. We know what happened. So, we live kind of in a world where judges decide the official winner, but at the end of the day, the fans are the ones who determine, and your willingness to purchase the guy's next fight and support him is what ultimately moves the sport. So if Plant comes through and delivers and he fights the way that he may be capable of and he actually puts on a good show, I hope that people continue to support him and, be willing to pay to watch him fight the best of the best out there. A rematch, a Benavidez fight, or whatever. Because at the end of the day, these guys they're putting their life on the line to make a living, and they should be paid well for it, in my opinion. So that's where I stand. I'm looking for a good show. If it goes to the cards, Alvarez wins it. There's no way around that, regardless of what happens. We'll see if I'm right. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Chris Worsley, hands up, chin down. Thank you very much. Keep supporting me, please, and enjoy the show.